Good afternoon, everybody, and a very warm welcome to Mildenhall and District. And today we're going to be talking about two of the recent exhibitions that I've been to. The first one, it was in Southampton last week, and today I went to FebEx, which is my local model railway exhibition, just literally around the corner, and that was only about 5 minutes away in Alton at the Egger School. So just quickly, just talking about the Southampton Model Railway Exhibition in Eastleigh. From my point of view, it wasn't very good. And that's because I found that none of the layouts really suited what I model. In fact, there was only one mini layout that was modern. And so to be honest with you, that wasn't really my cup of tea. Obviously from the older generation that loved their steamers and stuff like that. That was basically what the show was pretty much aimed at. So I was a bit disappointed because obviously it's fuel to get down there, and then after it's an admission fee of £9. So it wasn't really of any benefit to go down there. However, that being said, I did meet Tony over at Tony Northeastern. So that was lovely to chat to him briefly. And then we both went our separate ways, and then yeah, we both kind of got lost. So I didn't actually get a chance to say goodbye to him. So today was a very similar experience at the Alton Model Railway Exhibition here at the Egger School. The layouts weren't particularly to my liking. In fact, the majority of them were, most of them were steamers. There was a couple, I think there was a European, and then there was also an American. But that being said, it was a very good exhibition for other reasons. And it's probably, I guess, more why I go to exhibitions rather than necessarily going to see layouts, because there's so many fantastic layouts here on YouTube that, from the point of view of actually going to an exhibition to see layouts, isn't really the big thing for me. I like going to see the traders and possibly finding odd bits and pieces that maybe I wouldn't get elsewhere, and maybe find some bargains along the way. Also, to see whether or not I can catch up with some of my friends and some of my fellow YouTubers who are maybe fairly local to my vicinity, which I could possibly meet in person and actually have a good chinwag. And that being said, that was precisely what happened today. I went with my boss from work. He's a big model bus fan and also a railway enthusiast. And so we went to the show. So it's nice to kind of have a chat with him outside of the work environment and chat trains. And also I managed to meet, which I didn't know, wasn't aware that Gary was going to be there over from Cheeky Tech, which was absolutely brilliant. So I had a great time, spent a lot of time chatting to Gary from Cheeky Tech. I spent some time chatting to Fred over at Wilby Castle, so it was nice to see them both. Fred was on great form, so it was really nice to see them both. So we both had a really great time, you know, just chatting to everyone that I'd met there. So I'd gone and met my boss there, and then after I'd also met Gary and Fred, and I also met the railway modeler editor, having a chat with him. I can't remember his name. And I also met a fellow YouTuber who I spent a lot of time with. His name's Gordon, really nice man, and he's very interested in coming here to help me do an op session sometime. So I'm hoping to do something like that very soon. How soon, I'm not sure. I'm still working on things. Just a word on the layout update. There will be a proper layout update. Well, in fact, it's probably on the quarry. The next video is what you'll see, because that's not too far off done. There's still lots to do, but the basis is pretty much there already. So we'll be looking at Arklow Quarry which is going to be the next video. And just to briefly wrap up this video, also, I did actually find some really cool bargains, and I am super duper pleased with what I came back with. Because that's part of the reason why I like going to train shows, because sometimes you can go onto eBay looking for things and you end up getting fleeced for things. And this time round, I picked up four bargains, and they were all at £15 each, £15 a piece. So it was rolling stock. Now, I went to FedEx with no real expectation to buy anything. That wasn't really what I wasn't planning on buying anything at all. I was maybe looking to get a few bits and pieces for the quarry in terms of just building it and scenic bits. I wasn't expecting to get any rolling stock, but I ended up with 4 pieces of rolling stock at £15 each. And I think when you see it, I think you'll agree it's a real bargain. Now, I'm going to roll the first 2 in, and you'll see what they are. I'll lift them off in a minute. I managed to get hold of 2 TEA tankers. And what makes these such a bargain is that these are actually Bachmann factory weathered TEA 100-ton wagons. And they are virtually, there's not anything to sort of say that they're in poor condition or anything. Everything's there, the ladders is there, the couplings are there, it's got metal wheels, it is a Bachmann, all the buffers are there, no buffers are missing or anything like that. And for the money, I don't think you can go too far wrong. And it is, like I said, factory weathered, and I'm really, really super duper pleased. This is a Shell tanker, and as you can see by the price, it says it is £15. And it is in super duper nick. Nothing's broken, nothing's fallen off. It came unboxed, but nonetheless, even though it was unboxed, it is in super duper condition. And I'm really, 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 really pleased with it. So that's one of them. The other one is an SO1. And again, as you can see, it's £15. Metal wheels, nothing's broken, it's all there. NEM sockets. And when you think about how much this would actually cost if you were to buy this from Bachmann, even a second-hand box, normally you'd probably be expecting to probably pay about, I don't know, probably about £30 or something like that. Brand new, these are going for about, probably I think it's about £60 if you were to buy these direct from Bachmann. So there is a huge savings there. So to get them for £15, I mean, it's just bargainous. It's absolutely brilliant. I'm so super duper pleased. They look absolutely brilliant. And a word on Bachmann. Bachmann were there at the exhibition, as they said on their video. So I was super impressed that they were there. I did have a little chit chat with them, and I spoke to them about some of the things that I was interested in from their launch. And that was that they were talking about the MPV, which I'm quite interested in. Now, some of you will remember that this isn't the first time Bachmann released the MPV. This is the second version. And the first versions ended up selling at a knockdown price of, I'm sure I saw it for about £59 at the time. Bachmann, I spoke to Bachmann, and they reckon that the recommended retail price was £319 DCC ready. And I think it's going to be about over £400 with sound. So it goes to show you just how much things have just skyrocketed. That's just craziness. Because I was really interested in getting the MPV with the South West Trains markings on it when they announced it on their video. And yes, it turns out that it's going to be a lot more expensive. And the thing is, I actually asked them whether it was the same tooling. And it's exactly the same tooling, which is what I thought. But I thought I'd double check and ask. And yep, it's the same tooling. So for all that extra money, it's the same tooling. And it's just a paint job, and you're paying so much more I'm just going to whiz these right towards the end. Careful that they don't drop off the end. Luckily it's level, so it's not going to go anywhere. Another thing I looked at was their close-up of their new JJA auto balusters. I don't know if any of you have seen that. That was £94, £95 per wagon. Yeah, that's crazy. You try and put a rake together of like 10 and that's near enough going to cost you £1,000. Do you know what I mean? It's just silly money, isn't it, really? I mean, it's a model railway, for God's sake, so they should just price things accordingly. And when you think about that and put that into context, that £95 for one wagon, and these are Bachmann's and they are £15 on the second-hand market. If you shop wisely, you can pick up some real bargains. That is just a humongous price to pay for those auto. I'd love to have a rake of those, but not at that money. Right, so on to my next bargains. By the way, I should say that with those TEA wagons, that should bring up my rake. It's either to 11 or 12. I think it's 12. So I think I've got 12 now on my rake. Now, on to my next bargain. Now, this is something I've been after for a while. They don't come up very often, and when they have come up, the pricing has been a bit... it depends on how many people want it. But I believe that these two were actually a special edition, which is why they're quite difficult to get hold of. But when I bought these two were unboxed. And let me just bring them in for you. Something a bit unusual for me. And here we have a couple of Mark II coaches in the green livery. Now, as you know, I live in Alton and we have the Preserved Railway here being the Watercress line, and the Watercress line has green coaches. So, from that point of view, and we do have some Mark IIs actually on the Watercress line, which is why I wanted these. So I was very pleased to be lucky enough and happy enough to get these two. I think they're just absolutely lovely. Because basically all the ones that I do have are Mark I's. And once again, these are Bachmann coaches. Now originally, I know the seller quite well because I've bought quite a lot from him in the past at the shows, especially down this end. And he wanted, as you can see on the battery box, £16, but he didn't charge me £16. On top of the fact that it was a good price already, he actually charged me £15 for it. And that is a Mark II coach by Bachmann. And it's a lovely, lovely coach and will go so nice. Metal wheels. And I'm so pleased to get these two. They're both pretty much, I think, no, this one's got, no, they're slightly different because this one's got a door in the middle. On this one, I think, yeah, that one's got a door in the middle. Oh, actually, no, they are both the same. I think they're both the same, actually. Either way, I wanted to get a set of Mark II green ones. I did try and paint my own ones, but I didn't really like it, so I ended up redoing it. So I've got these two to go with my set of green Mark I coaches. So that, I think, brings that rake up to about, I think it's about 7 or 8. So I think, to be honest, I'm really pleased with these. They run really smooth, and I think I've been very, very smart and wise with my purchases. So I didn't go totally mad or overboard. I didn't actually buy anything. Actually, I did. I tell a lie. At Southampton, I bought a couple of bags of scatter material and some wire. That was all I bought from there. So, but to come away with this, I think is really, really cool. So, I'm going to have some nice longer rakes, and it's going to be good. So, that concludes the end of this video. The next show I will be attending will be the Basingstoke show, and that is at the beginning of March. I believe it's either the 11th and 12th or the 10th and the 11th, that weekend anyway. So I'll be attending that exhibition on the Saturday. So I'd like to thank everybody that I've met over these 2 exhibitions. My apologies to Fred and Gary for not being able to say hello and say goodbye. I got mingling away, and then you know what happens. You start chatting to people, and then people go wandering off, and I thought I'd catch them at some point, and I didn't quite make it. So I'm sorry I didn't get to say goodbye, but it was lovely chatting to you, lovely meeting you again and seeing you, and until the next time. So until the next time, it's goodbye from Mildenhall and Districts, and like I said, the next video will be on the new Arklow quarry. That has come on leaps and bounds, and I can't wait to show it to you. So take care, and until the next time, it's bye from me. Goodbye.